The moment you decide to manifest something new, the old version of your life doesn't quietly step aside. It starts cracking under pressure. Plans slip, timing collapses, bills show up, messages go unanswered, and routines that once held you together suddenly fail. You call it bad luck, a setback, proof it isn't working. But watch closely. Right before the shift, the system throws everything it still has. The breakdown isn't random noise, it's the last surge of what no longer fits. If your reality looks messy, unstable, and unfamiliar, you might not be off track. You might be right on schedule. Manifestation is often a mysterious and elusive process. We hear about it, read about it, and talk about it all the time, yet there's a common experience that many people go through in their manifestation journeys: the breakdown. It's a period when everything seems to go wrong, when the universe seems to be conspiring against your desires, and when you begin to question if manifestation is even real. But what if I told you that this moment of struggle, frustration, and doubt is actually a necessary precursor to the breakthrough you've been waiting for? When we embark on a path of manifestation, it's easy to believe that once we set our intentions, everything should fall into place effortlessly. We expect quick results, smooth transitions, and immediate alignment with our desires. However, the reality of manifestation is not as simple as that. It's not about wishing something into existence with a wave of a magic wand. It's about aligning your energy with your desires, shifting your internal frequency, and clearing the resistance that stands between you and the manifestation of your dreams. But here's the catch. When you're about to shift into a new reality, when your manifestations are on the brink of coming through, the universe will often show you a breakdown. This breakdown isn't a sign of failure. Rather, it's a moment of intense purification, a space where the old beliefs, fears, and doubts that no longer serve you must be released before the new reality can fully materialize. This can be one of the most difficult parts of the manifestation process, because it forces you to confront your deepest fears, your insecurities, and your limiting beliefs. It challenges your sense of self, your trust in the process, and your understanding of how the universe works. It feels uncomfortable, disorienting, and even painful at times. But it is through this discomfort that you are being prepared for the breakthrough. It's like a caterpillar that enters the cocoon, wrapped in darkness, undergoing a transformation that feels like a complete breakdown of its old form. In those moments inside the cocoon, it may feel like nothing is happening. It's as if the caterpillar has disappeared, dissolved into a mess of uncertainty and confusion. But inside that cocoon, profound change is occurring. The breakdown is leading to the breakthrough. The caterpillar is becoming a butterfly. And so it is with manifestation. When things seem to be falling apart, when nothing is working out, when you feel like you're stuck in a cycle of frustration, know that the universe is working on your behalf, breaking down the old in order to make space for the new. You may not always see it, but every moment of doubt, every moment of frustration, every moment when you feel like giving up is a sign that you are on the cusp of a major shift. It's easy to get caught in the illusion that we're failing when things seem to go wrong. We often make the mistake of thinking that manifestation is a linear process. You set your intentions, you do your work, and then your desires appear, neatly packaged and ready for you to enjoy. But manifestation isn't linear. It's a spiral, a cyclical process of expansion and contraction, ebb and flow, breakdown and breakthrough. Sometimes you'll feel like you're moving forward, and other times you'll feel like you're taking 2 steps back. Both are necessary. The breakdown phase is also a critical part of the purification process. It's a time when your old patterns, your limiting beliefs, and your fears are being purged from your energetic system. You might find that old emotions come up, things you thought you had healed or let go of start to resurface. Maybe you experience a wave of anxiety or doubt that shakes you to your core. These are all signs that the universe is preparing you for something greater. The breakdown is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're getting closer to the truth of who you are and what you're meant to create. It's important to remember that manifestation isn't just about attracting things into your life. It's also about becoming a vibrational match for those things. The universe doesn't just give you what you want, it gives you what you are. And in order to align with your desires, you must first shed the old layers of resistance and limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. The breakdown is the process of clearing away those blocks. For example, imagine you've been manifesting financial abundance. You've done the work, visualized, meditated, and set your intentions. You feel excited and hopeful about the possibilities that are coming your way. But suddenly, you experience an unexpected financial setback. Maybe a bill comes in that you weren't expecting, or an investment you made doesn't pay off. In that moment, it's easy to think that your manifestation is failing, that you're somehow not worthy or deserving of abundance. But what's actually happening is that the universe is bringing up your old fears and beliefs around money, The doubts that you're not enough, the fear that you'll never have enough, the belief that abundance is scarce. This is the breakdown. The universe is showing you where you still hold resistance, where your energy is out of alignment with your desires. It's not a punishment, it's an opportunity for growth. If you can sit with the discomfort, trust the process, and allow those old fears to come up without reacting, you will be able to release them and make space for the abundance that's already on its way. Another example might be in the realm of relationships. Perhaps you've been manifesting a loving, supportive partnership, but instead of attracting your ideal partner, you find yourself in relationships that trigger your insecurities or mirror past patterns of dysfunction. Again, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that manifestation isn't working. But what's happening is that you're being shown where you still need healing, where you still need to release old attachments and wounds. The breakdown is a mirror of the work that still needs to be done within you. The key here is not to give up, not to quit, and not to fall into despair. The breakdown is a sign that you are in the process of releasing what no longer serves you. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also the most important part of the manifestation journey. Without the breakdown, there can be no breakthrough. You can't create something new if you're still holding on to the old. In these moments of breakdown, it's essential to cultivate trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in the universe. The more you trust that the breakdown is part of the process, the easier it will be to navigate through it. Instead of resisting or pushing against the discomfort, you can choose to lean into it, knowing that it's preparing you for something greater. So, the next time you find yourself in the midst of a manifestation breakdown, when everything feels like it's falling apart, when your doubts and fears are at their peak, remember that this is the moment before the breakthrough. The universe is not abandoning you, it's rearranging things to bring you closer to your desires. The breakdown is simply a part of the journey, and it's leading you to the manifestation of your dreams. Hold the faith. Stay grounded. And know that the universe is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything in perfect timing. The breakthrough is closer than you think. The process of manifestation goes much deeper than simply asking the universe for what you want. It's not as straightforward as making a wish and waiting for it to materialize. Behind the scenes, there are invisible forces at play, working in the quantum field to align your energy with your desires. These forces are subtle, yet powerful, and their influence can often go unnoticed, especially when things don't seem to be moving in the direction we want them to. However, understanding the deeper energetic dynamics of manifestation is key to navigating those moments when it feels like nothing is happening and everything is falling apart. At the most fundamental level, manifestation is the result of an energetic exchange. The thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, and the beliefs you hold are all forms of energy that vibrate at specific frequencies. Everything in the universe, including you, is made up of energy. And just as a tuning fork vibrates when struck, your energetic frequency interacts with the energetic frequency of the universe. What you send out, in the form of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, is what you attract back into your life. This is the law of attraction, but it goes beyond just positive thinking. It's about the energy you are consistently emitting. However, the universe doesn't always respond in the way we expect. It doesn't just give us what we ask for immediately, nor does it always deliver in the form we envision. In fact, the universe often works in mysterious ways, and this is where the invisible forces at play come into focus. We are constantly co-creating with the universe, but sometimes that creation takes time. The process of shifting your reality isn't a linear one. It's often a winding path, full of detours, pauses, and what may appear to be setbacks. But this is how the universe tests your alignment. It's like a cosmic calibration. When you begin to call in something new, whether it's a new job, a relationship, financial abundance, or a more peaceful state of mind, you're not just asking for the outcome, you're also asking for a shift in your energetic frequency. And in order to create that shift, you need to clear any energetic blocks, doubts, or resistance that are keeping you stuck in your current reality. This process isn't always easy. Often, it feels as if things are falling apart because the universe is showing you where you're out of alignment with your desires. Let's say, for example, you are manifesting more financial abundance. You've done your visualization, you've written down your goals, and you're confident that your desire is coming to you. Yet, instead of money flowing into your life, you might experience unexpected bills, a sudden drop in income, or even a job loss. This is where the invisible forces at play come into play. The universe isn't trying to punish you. It's showing you the areas where your beliefs about money are out of alignment with abundance. Perhaps there's a part of you that believes money is hard to come by or that there will never be enough to go around. Those limiting beliefs are the energetic blocks that the universe is inviting you to confront. In this moment, it can feel like a setback. It can feel like the universe is working against you. But in reality, it's actually working for you. The universe is bringing up those old beliefs and emotions so that you can release them. It's asking you to examine your relationship with money and see where your energy is out of alignment with your desires. If you don't address these blocks, they will continue to show up in different forms, delaying the manifestation of your abundance. This process isn't just about identifying your blocks, it's also about healing and releasing them. The invisible forces of manifestation work through energy clearing. When your energy is bogged down by unresolved emotions, limiting beliefs, or past trauma, it becomes difficult for the universe to align with your desires. It's like trying to tune a guitar that's out of tune. No matter how many times you strum it, it won't sound right until the strings are properly tuned. Similarly, your energy needs to be in tune with what you desire in order for manifestation to flow effortlessly. Energy clearing isn't always an easy or comfortable process. It often involves confronting the parts of ourselves that we'd rather ignore. When old emotions and beliefs resurface, it can trigger feelings of discomfort, resistance, and fear. But remember, this is a sign that the universe is working in your favor. These emotions are simply old energy that is being released. By allowing yourself to feel the discomfort, you give yourself the opportunity to release it. This is the work of the invisible forces, the subtle energetic shifts that occur when you open yourself up to the process of transformation. As you go through this process, it's important to trust that the universe is always responding to your energy. Even when things don't seem to be going according to plan, the universe is always at work behind the scenes, rearranging the pieces of your reality in perfect alignment with your desires. This is where the invisible forces truly shine. They work in ways that aren't always immediately obvious, but they are always at play. Just because you don't see results right away doesn't mean that the universe isn't responding. It's simply taking the time to align everything for your highest good. One of the most challenging aspects of manifestation is surrender. We live in a society that constantly pushes us to control everything, to force outcomes, and to always be in charge. But when it comes to manifestation, control is not your friend. The more you try to force things, the more you create resistance, blocking the flow of energy. This is where the invisible forces come in. They work through surrender. Surrendering is not about giving up or relinquishing your desires. It's about trusting that the universe knows the best way to bring your desires into your life. It's about letting go of the need to control how, when, and where things will happen. When you surrender, you allow the invisible forces to work freely, clearing away the obstacles and bringing your desires to you in the most harmonious way possible. Sometimes, the universe may even send you signs or synchronicities during this process, guiding you toward the next step in your manifestation journey. These signs may come in the form of intuitive nudges, dreams, or unexpected opportunities. It's important to pay attention to these subtle messages, as they are often the universe's way of helping you align with your desires. When you're in tune with the invisible forces, you begin to notice that things fall into place with greater ease. The right people, circumstances, and opportunities begin to appear in your life at just the right time. But even if you don't see these signs right away, trust that they are still at work behind the scenes. The universe is always listening, always responding, and always guiding you toward your desires. Sometimes, the invisible forces work in ways that are imperceptible, but the impact is undeniable. Your job is to stay in alignment with your desires, trust the process, and allow the universe to do its work. It might not happen on your timeline, but it will happen when the time is right. Ultimately, understanding the invisible forces at play in manifestation helps to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures or signs that you're on the wrong path, you begin to view them as part of the process. The universe isn't working against you, it's working with you, helping you clear the old and make space for the new. You are not alone in this journey. The invisible forces are always at work, guiding you toward your highest potential. All you need to do is trust the process and allow yourself to be open to the magic unfolding in your life. Fear is often one of the most significant hurdles we face when it comes to manifestation. It's a powerful force, a deeply ingrained emotion that can keep us stuck in old patterns, unable to move forward toward our desires. When we begin the process of manifestation, it's natural to feel a sense of excitement, hope, and anticipation. We imagine the life we want to create, the abundance, the love, the success, and the freedom that awaits us. But just as the energy of excitement builds, so too does the energy of fear. And sometimes, that fear can become so overwhelming that it feels easier to give up than to keep going. The fear of the unknown is one of the most common sources of this internal struggle. When you start to manifest something new in your life, whether it's a new career, a new relationship, or a new version of yourself, you're stepping into uncharted territory. Even if the old reality you're leaving behind no longer serves you, it still feels familiar. It feels safe even if it's not healthy or aligned with your true desires. Change, especially the kind of transformation that comes with manifestation, often requires us to let go of the comfort zone we've known for so long. And that's terrifying. Fear thrives in the unknown. It whispers to us, telling us that we can't do it, that we're not capable, that we don't deserve our desires. It convinces us that the change we're seeking is too risky, too uncertain, and too frightening to be worth it. This fear can manifest as self-doubt, anxiety, and even procrastination. It shows up as the voice in our heads that says, "What if it doesn't work?" Or "What if I fail?" And when we hear these voices, they can become so loud and convincing that we start to question our ability to manifest anything at all. But the truth is, fear is not a reflection of the reality of what's to come. Fear is simply a reflection of our internal resistance to change. It's a sign that we're on the brink of transformation, but it's also a signal from the subconscious mind that we need to confront and release the old patterns and beliefs that are holding us back. Fear is an illusion, but it's a powerful one, and it can feel incredibly real when we're in the thick of it. To overcome this fear, we must first understand that it's not something to be avoided or suppressed. Fear is an emotion that has a purpose, and when we can acknowledge it, we take away some of its power. When you begin to manifest something new, it's inevitable that fear will arise, but it doesn't have to control you. The first step is to accept that fear is a natural part of the process. You don't have to eliminate it completely, you simply have to learn to coexist with it and not let it stop you from moving forward. One of the most effective ways to shift the energy of fear is through awareness. When you feel fear creeping in, pause and observe it. Don't try to push it away or pretend it's not there. Instead, sit with it for a moment. Ask yourself, what is this fear trying to tell me? What old belief or pattern is it connected to? Often, fear is rooted in past experiences or deeply ingrained beliefs about what's possible for us. Maybe you've been told your whole life that money doesn't grow on trees, or that relationships are hard and require sacrifice. Maybe you've experienced failure before, and now fear is telling you that you'll fail again. These are the old stories and limiting beliefs that fear is trying to protect you from confronting. Once you bring awareness to your fear, you can begin to unravel it. You can ask yourself whether this fear is based on reality or if it's simply a projection of the past onto the present moment. Most often, fear is rooted in a what-if scenario, a hypothetical future that hasn't happened yet. The mind is incredibly skilled at imagining worst-case scenarios, and fear feeds off these imagined possibilities. But just because you're afraid of something doesn't mean it's going to happen. Fear thrives on uncertainty, but the future is never certain, and that's actually a good thing. It means that the possibilities are endless. Another powerful tool for overcoming fear is reframing it. Fear can be reframed as excitement, as anticipation, or as the energy of growth. When you start to see fear as a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone and stretching into a new version of yourself, it loses some of its grip. Instead of viewing fear as something to avoid, you can begin to view it as a companion on your journey of transformation. It's a signal that you're on the right path, that you're pushing past the boundaries of your old self and expanding into new territory. At this point, it's important to remind yourself that fear is often a sign of alignment. When you're manifesting something truly aligned with your soul's purpose, something that feels deeply meaningful, it's natural for fear to arise. This is because the deeper the transformation, the greater the resistance. The old self doesn't want to let go of what's familiar, and the ego doesn't want to surrender control. But this is exactly why fear shows up. It's the ego's way of trying to keep you safe, even though safety isn't always in alignment with your highest good. In many ways, fear is a form of resistance. The more resistance you have to change, the more fear you'll experience. And this is where the inner battle begins. The old self, with all its doubts and insecurities, wants to stay where it's comfortable. But the new self, the version of you that is calling in your desires, wants to grow, expand, and evolve. The conflict between these two parts of you is where fear lives. It's the tension between holding on to what you know and stepping into the unknown. To truly manifest the life you desire, you must learn to trust the process. Trust that fear is just a part of the journey and that it doesn't need to dictate your actions. You don't have to let fear paralyze you. Instead, you can use it as a tool to push yourself forward. Every time you feel afraid, take a step anyway. Fear may never fully disappear, but every time you move through it, you strengthen your ability to manifest. One of the most empowering ways to shift fear is through action. Action is the antidote to fear. When you take steps, no matter how small, in the direction of your desires, you begin to override the fear with evidence that you are capable, that the universe is supporting you, and that you are worthy of what you're manifesting. Fear wants you to stay stuck, but action moves you forward, even in the face of uncertainty. Ultimately, the key to overcoming fear is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the universe, and trust that the fear you're experiencing is simply a sign of growth. It's a sign that you are on the verge of something amazing, something beyond what your mind can even comprehend. The more you lean into the discomfort of fear, the more you expand your capacity to receive the abundance, love, and success that is already on its way to you. Fear will always be a part of the human experience, but when you learn to coexist with it, you take away its power and step into your full potential. You begin to shift your reality. As you begin to move through the fear and resistance, something truly magical starts to happen. The breakthrough, the moment when everything falls into place and the manifestation process begins to bear fruit. This is the part where you begin to see tangible results from the energy you've been putting out. It's when the seeds you've planted in the fertile soil of your mind and soul start to sprout and take form in your external reality. The feeling of alignment and synchronicity becomes undeniable. The breakthrough isn't always as dramatic or immediate as we might want it to be. It's not like flipping a switch, where suddenly everything in your life changes overnight. Rather, it's a series of small, subtle shifts that align to create a larger transformation. It's when you begin to notice things falling into place with ease, as if the universe is conspiring to bring you exactly what you've been asking for. You might get an unexpected opportunity, receive a sign or synchronicity, or find that the challenges you once faced no longer seem as daunting. You realize that everything you've been through, the struggles, the doubts, the setbacks, was necessary to bring you to this moment. The breakthrough is not about achieving perfection. It's about reaching a point of deeper alignment with your desires. It's about shedding the last layers of resistance, embracing the flow of the universe, and trusting that you are exactly where you need to be. It's in the small moments of clarity, when you suddenly see your path unfolding before you. You start to trust the process because the universe is showing you, step by step, that it's working in your favor. During the breakthrough, you'll notice that your energy shifts. What once felt like a struggle now feels effortless. The flow of abundance, love, and success begins to feel natural, as though you've been in alignment all along, but we're just waiting for the right time to step into it. The universe doesn't work on our timelines, and sometimes the breakthrough comes when we least expect it, but it always comes when we are ready to receive it. As you experience the breakthrough, it's important to celebrate each moment, no matter how small. Every step forward is a victory, and every sign of progress is a confirmation that you are on the right path. Gratitude becomes a powerful tool during this phase, as it amplifies the flow of manifestation and opens you up to even more abundance. The more you express gratitude for the small wins, the more the universe will respond with bigger blessings. It's a beautiful cycle that begins with alignment, moves through fear, and culminates in a breakthrough that opens the door to even greater possibilities. The breakthrough is a reminder that manifestation is not just about getting what you want. It's about becoming the person you are meant to be in order to receive it. It's about embracing the flow of life, trusting in the process, and knowing that everything you've experienced has led you to this moment of transformation. As you step into this new chapter, you'll find that the world begins to reflect the inner shifts you've made, and your reality starts to align with the dreams you've been holding in your heart. It's a beautiful, unfolding journey, and the breakthrough is just the beginning.